This episode brought to you by Nicholson Realty 2.0, the Gas City Performing Arts Center, Chuck Sewer, Drain and Plumbing.
Welcome to Garage Talk. As always, I'm Conrad. Let's go. Today we're sitting down with the guy who didn't wait for Nashville to call.
Even though I'm ironically in Nashville right now.
Yeah, you built it the hard way, touring, grinding, writing from real life. Joe Stamm, front man of the Joe Stamm Band, bringing black dirt country rock to the Gas City Performing Arts Center this May 29th, man. How we doing?
I'm doing well. Looking forward to getting back to Gas City. Gas City was where I used to go to get Taco Bell and Mountain Dew slushies.
Oh, yeah.
At the gas station there. I can't remember which one it was. Is it a Pilot there right off the exit? Something of that nature.
Yeah, I think so. There's a Pilot and a McClure.
McClure. I think it was McClure. The Mountain Dew slushies at McClure. Yeah.
McClure owes us a name shout out check.
Yeah. See if we can get a sponsorship. We'll put a McClure banner back right up there on the back wall.
Wouldn't that be great? Hey man, let me ask you, when did music first hit you? What age were you?
In any intentional sense, I would say in college. I was probably in my early 20s when I really started listening to music. I in the locker room before football games in high school or riding around in my Toyota Tacoma, was listening to Metallica and Creedence, in high school and stuff.
That's a mixture right there.
Yeah. Well, but really, I started like listening intentionally to songwriters and and following music in a very intentional way. Probably mid to late college. So I would say when I was 20, 21, 22 is when I started really getting into it. But I still couldn't play. I didn't play. I didn't sing. The first time I ever sang in front of an audience was in Upland, because I graduated from Taylor there, close to you guys. And they had this thing called Nostalgia Night, where you would put together a band on campus there, a makeshift band, and play something. They had like a cutoff of years that you would have to play something before. And we played Freebird, and I sang.
Of course. Somebody yell it out.
As one would. I figured I would do Freebird because if I totally screwed up, then there's like 3 or 4 minutes at the end of the song for the guy, Joe Arcano, the guy playing guitar, to make people forget that I had screwed up. And so I figured Freebird was a safe bet in that regard.
That's genius.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty, and it worked out. So that was kind of the beginnings.
Was that your first paying gig?
No, that wasn't paying. That was strictly on a volunteer basis.
Yeah.
I think my first paying gig would have been in St. Charles, Illinois, a couple years later, because I didn't learn to play guitar until my last semester there at Taylor. I had to take an arts course to graduate, so I took intro to guitar, and so I started playing guitar. Both my roommates played guitar, so they helped me out, kind of get started, and I started writing songs immediately. And my first performance, like live performance, was at a coffee shop, I think over there by the Cracker Barrel in Gas City. I think there's a coffee shop there. The memories get weird.
There's Payne's, like a fish and chips place.
And who knows if, the business is even there anymore. This was more longer ago than I'd like to admit. But that was just an open mic, so. But all that to say, all the music stuff, as far as what turned into my career, started right there in Gas City pretty much.
That's awesome, man. So you've got some deep ties to Gas City and Taylor.
Yeah, and this is actually so this spring will be the 20 year. It's been 20 years since that semester that I I graduated in 2006, and that was my last semester. That's when I learned to play guitar. So we could call this show the 20-year reunion of whenever I decided to start writing songs and stuff.
I like it. The title's a bit long, but let's go with that, man.
Yeah, we'll workshop that title.
That's a long banner, Joe. Long banner. Long
Right.
banner. When did it hit you that, man, I'm not quitting this. I love it too much.
I think about quitting every day, Conrad. So
Mhm.
no.
I think we all do. It's human.
Yeah, it's human nature. There's one of our songs is "No One Ever Taught Me How to Quit," and that doesn't mean you don't think about quitting. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean you don't ever quit. It's just you don't necessarily know how to. And even if there's things I've quit in my life that I quit very poorly. But I would say, man, it really is an ongoing conversation. I quit my job, speaking of quitting, and started doing this full time in 2016. And my idea at the time was, I was really fed up with just working for somebody else and somebody else's business. And I figured I would give it a year. And that was kind of a mentality for the first couple of years until it's become clearer and clearer the further I've gotten into this. So now I'm 10 years. That was 2016. So I'm 10. It'll be 10 years full time this September. It just becomes more than anything. It's like, well, what else would I do at this point? If I quit doing music, what else in the world would I do? So. That's kind of been a gradual conversation over the past 10 years.
Man, it's hard. It's hard when you have to make that decision
Yeah.
to dive full in. What's really hard to me is Midwest artists. I think they have to work a lot harder to really do something, because you're outside of Nashville, you're outside of the Austin pipelines. Let's talk about that grind. What's that grind like for you?
I think there's a sense, whether it's real or not, in which it's hard just to be taken seriously. Because the hubs really are, like you mentioned, kind of that Austin to Oklahoma pipeline of Texas and Oklahoma artists, and then there's the Eastern Kentucky and Virginia's kind of scenes, and then there's the Nashville scenes, and then there's just kind of that sense of artists coming from Georgia and Alabama, and even though they're great artists, historic artists from the Midwest, Bob Seger, Prince, just to name a couple off the top of my head. I think in this vein,
Iconic.
but in this vein of music in the modern day, I think it's been difficult to be taken seriously. Nobody knows necessarily where to put us. Now that's all just what people talk about, what people say. In reality, when rubber meets the road, no matter where you're from, this is a very difficult business to sustain, to build momentum in. I mean, we're still trying to do all those things. Sustainability is probably the one thing that keeps me up at night, because I'm very content and happy with where we're at, with the fan base we have. I make a good living. I can pay bills. I'm not living lavishly by any sense of the word, but I'm comfortable. But there's no security, there's no pension, other than what you might be able to sock away for yourself at a later date. But as I think what you're kind of alluding to, it's been a very grassroots thing. I didn't move to Nashville to try to just network and meet people and figure out how somebody else could help me. We just drew bigger and bigger circles on the map, and we're still doing that. We're still just drawing larger circles on the map, and going to more places. And we've had to do that because, you can't just start off and be like, all right, I'm going to book a show in Texas. Nobody's going to know who you are. So you've got to, work within a smaller and ever larger circles as people learn who you are further and further out, so that people will show up at your shows if you eventually start booking something in Texas. So it's just been a slow, grinding grassroots process over the course of the last 13 years, since I started the band, and one that we're still very much working on building out,
Mm-hmm.
all the time. It just so happens I'm from the Midwest, and that little circle that started the whole thing was not in an area where people commonly associate with, original country rock artists. So
Do you
that's what we.
think some artists nowadays get lost in I'm going to write one great song, put it on YouTube or Facebook, and hope it hits big, and I'm set for the rest of my life?
Yeah, and I say this as someone who has absolutely zero experience with anything viral,
Yeah.
you know. So I can't speak to that reality other than what I've heard, and observed from people who have been within it or know people that have been within it. And one thing that if that some of these people who go viral, they don't have the infrastructure built to then, and sometimes even the skill sets to then go out and put together a tour. I mean, typically in this case, if you go viral, somebody's knocking on your door to put that tour together for you. But I think, like anything in life, the experience that you build up behind the success is something that you can rely upon and lean into as you navigate the challenges of actually doing this for a living and sustaining it. And what I mean by that is the grinds of touring, the toll, just that it takes to be out there in front of people all the time, whether that's physically or whether that's through the social media platforms and the pressures and the grind that all those things are. And just the performance elements of it too. Just the guys in my band, two of them have been with me for 10 years this fall. One of them's been with me for 5 years this spring. And it's just hard to, I guess, how do you replicate that in a situation which all of a sudden you haven't been touring, but a video goes viral and you have to scramble to put a band together, to put a tour together, to put an infrastructure together, and then sustain that. I'm not saying I would love for something I've done to go viral,
Yeah.
but the thing that, and in the meantime, all I can do is put together the best content that I can. And what I mean by that is the records, the mailing list, the fan base, the stuff I post to social media.
I get what you're saying.
There's value to having had to grind and slowly build an infrastructure that you think you might be able to sustain should someday you fall into a dramatic level of success.
Yeah.
In the meantime, just a good old-fashioned blue-collar middle-class level of success can sustain you in this business or any entrepreneurial endeavor,
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the grind makes everything so much more memorable. I'm a Gen Xer, so I like to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't necessarily know I like to learn the hard way, but I haven't had many choices.
I take that back. It's not that I like to, it's the
I
only
get what
way
you're
I
saying.
know how to learn
Right.
is the hard way. But I mean, it's I have, and I'm not talking throwing shade on the generations after mine, but I'm not afraid to fail.
Yeah, you can't be.
And sometimes it's just not an option, man. But I gotta ask you this, because I know that a lot of singer-songwriters, they can write one of two ways. They either write from pain and happiness, or they write from their observation. What kind of a writer are you?
And I use this analogy, I've used it 1,000 times when people kind of ask me similar questions to what you're asking.
Mhm.
And it's just true. There's experience and there's imagination, and it's a spectrum. And every song is going to fall somewhere within that spectrum.
All
And
right.
some are pretty darn close to real life experience, and some are in almost all imagination, you know. And it's really from song to song. I mean, there are some extremely personal songs that I've written that are basically, you know, totally born of experience. There's some that I would say are almost entirely imagination, but you can't. But there's never a song that's 100% one or the other. And I like to leave, as far as the listeners go, I like to leave the mystery in there as far as which is which, from song to song. One, just because it feels invasive sometimes to, if the song's super personal, to explain why and how. And two, just so people can kind of inject their own realities and touch points and connection into the songs without my imagination or experience or what this song means interfering.
Okay, so when you go to venues,
Mhm.
do you find that mid-sized venues are a lot more intimate because you're so close? As you can see behind me in the Gas City Performing Arts Center, a beautiful venue
Yeah.
that everybody should come and see Joe Stamm at.
Well,
Do you find these to be more intimate because you're so close to the audience?
Uh, yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, that's a short answer. You know, depending on a venue setup, you're just gonna have a different level of connection with the crowd. You know, we still occasionally play places, well, not very much anymore, but occasionally we'll play a place with a very low stage. Occasionally no stage, although it's been a while. We play one place still, kind of a dive bar that we love that doesn't even have a stage, and you're right there with the people. You know, you're
Yeah.
basically having a conversation with them throughout the entire set. You know, sometimes in the more bigger and professional places, you know, where the stage is tall and, you know, you got your bike racks out front and your pit in between. Those are really more traditionally performance based, but those have their special qualities too.
Yeah.
I think that's why it's nice, and at our level, you know, Sound's arena tour, light years away from such a thing. We kind of get to experience all of it, and we occasionally get to even do you know, the really, the really big rooms where we're opening for somebody else that's playing for 5,000 people or whatever. But it's cool to be able to kind of play out those shows on different platforms like that.
Man, I greatly appreciate you taking time. I know you're a very busy musician
That's
and
great.
you've
It
got
worked out great.
other things to do today. But before I let you go,
Yeah.
I have the Nicholson Realty 2.0 rapid fire for you.
Okay.
You
All
ready?
right. Yeah, I'm ready.
Right off the top of the dome now, Joe.
Yeah, I'm a slow thinker. I'm really bad at Jeopardy, but I'm going to do my best.
There's no algebra.
All
Uh,
right.
dream collaboration,
Oh, crap. Uh,
dead or alive?
Waylon Jennings.
Ooh, I love
John
that.
Fogerty.
That's a
John
good
Fogerty.
answer.
John Fogerty. I'm gonna go with John Fogerty.
Okay, that's a good answer too. Are you a CCR guy?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So much so that I don't really listen to him anymore because I played out so many of their songs for so many years. You know.
I used to work with a fencing company, and one of the guys always played CCR, so I I could do without CCR for a while.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. It's kind of I burned out all the guys that really influenced me when I started. I've
yeah.
long burned out all their stuff. You know.
Song you're tired of playing.
Uh, Midwest Girl.
Okay.
I haven't played it in years, actually. I've been so tired of playing it. But
Worst on stage malfunction.
Man, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Believe me, there's been plenty. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I mean, pretty much every single week I'm gonna forget some lyrics. So that's just a consistent on stage malfunction.
How do you roll with that when that happens?
Mumble through it. Try to it's kind of like falling off it's kind of like falling off merry-go-round. You got to just get back up and run until you can grab the bar and jump back on. You know, you just kind of hope the band keeps rolling.
Yeah.
And then you get back in. Sometimes I'll look at my bass player and see if it's a part where he's singing harmonies and try to read his lips. But usually I just get a blank look back at me.
Okay. Favorite musical movie?
Star is Born.
Oh, that is a classic. That is a classic.
The new one with Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Tears my heart out. Crazy Heart is also awesome with Jeff Bridges. Ryan Bingham's in that.
That is a wonderful movie.
Robert Duvall is in that.
The late great.
Yeah, but that movie's got some great one-liners, and it's wonderful.
I'm gonna go with I gotta interject myself. I'm a little bit torn between Ray and Walk the Line.
What about Dewey Cox?
Dewey Cox? Are you kidding me?
It's probably one of the best.
He was halved.
Conrad, I gotta think about my whole life.
You're blowing me some kisses. I've watched that way too many times, bro.
Oh, it's great. He gone smell blind.
I love it. I love it, Joe.
Yeah.
I can't wait till you get here. You got to stop in the concessions because I'm also the venue food and beverage manager. We have some nachos.
All right. I'm a big fan of nachos.
Knock your socks off, brother.
Well, I'll be depending on it.
Thank you so much for your time. You have a wonderful day. We'll see you May 29th. You will be on stage, 7 p.m., doors open at 6. Be there or be square.
Yeah, or round or rectangle or triangle. We don't really even care which space or shape you're going to be at, do we? Just as long as you show up.
Yeah, all those geometrical. Geometrical shapes. Geographical is a map, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we don't care where you're from either. So.
No, I love it.
Yeah.
Joe, you're a fast thinker. See you there.
See you there, Conrad. Thanks so much, brother.
Thank you.